Alright, and here's a video review for the 10th and final Great Voltasaur of the 10 Mighty Zyudenryu from Kyoryuger. Here is Gigant Bragi-oh, BRAGIGAS, technically in this mode before he becomes Gigant Bragi-oh. Big Brachiosaur, very, very cool. And I'm shooting from a lot farther back today. I'm kind of sitting next to the camera so I can reach over here. Because he's very, very big. Just by himself, like here he is with Kyoryugen. And he doesn't look so huge there, but trust me, part of it's because Kyoryugen's actually quite in front of him quite a bit. He's very large. His box, I was a little disappointed because they ran out of big boxes at CS Toys to ship the things, and it wouldn't have been that big of an issue except they ran out right before my order. They shipped 3 Bragigas, and mine was literally the very next order in line to get shipped, and that's when they ran out of boxes. So we had to wait a couple days for him to get here. Still well worth the wait. Very, very nice. And when it got here, it was very obvious that, like, okay, I see why you had to special order boxes, because the box itself is just massive. It's just absolutely massive. It's not Metroplex massive, but it's a very large, large box. So yeah, because it's a very large figure and he comes in pieces, you have to put them together. Snapper, because he comes apart and all that good stuff. It comes with his Judenschi that flips and glows in the dark and all that good stuff. Also, one of the things that I like about him is that he comes with batteries. You don't have to put any AA's in him. It looks like he uses some button cell batteries in his body. The switch to turn them on is right here, but underneath here there's the battery compartment. It looks like some button cells are in there. But yeah, there's the switch to turn him on. I may have had that off camera because he's giant. So yeah, but here he is in the Bragigas. He does also have slots for all the extra. If you've been collecting all the Guardian Judenschi, all 13 of them, he can actually hold 14. His main Judenschi up here in his mouth, and then the 13 Guardians from Dino Chaser all the way up to Futabayan. All can fit in here. So if you didn't buy the little storage case they put out a few months ago, then good for you. You save some money because you can officially store them all in here, just like you can on the show, and then you don't have to worry about finding some other place to stick them when they're not being used. Mine were just sitting on a shelf and they kept getting knocked over by kids and dogs running around. So that's nice. So yeah, so here he is. We'll go ahead and turn him on right back here. Again, there's a little switch right in here. And now he's on. Well, you can open up his mouth, and in his mouth is, can you see that? Right up in here, yeah, there's a little socket. The lighting's kind of bad, but there's a little socket right up in here for Judenschi, just standard Judenschi socket. Close that down. Gigant Bragi-oh. Does he have an attack noise in this? There's a button back here. Okay, so he's got a dinosaur roar as well. I'll probably do the same thing if I push it again. Okay, so you can give him a dinosaur roar. Now, here's where it gets fun, because you can store. I don't know if I'm going to. I might as well. I'm gonna put them all in order. You can store all of the Judenschi back here. So number 11, he's number 10. 1 through 10 are all the actual mechs, and then 11 through 23 are the Guardians. So there's 11, Dino Chaser, 12, Dino Scaranda. Let's see, where's 13, Kentro Spiker, 14, Stamero. 14 is Stamero. And one of the things that's neat is you'll see all of these as his motif, as his armor. You'll see all of the various Guardian Judenschi heads on his body. You know, Stamero. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which ones all of them are. I haven't looked up all of them, but you'll see like I found the turtle head somewhere. Where did I find the turtle head? Oh, whatever. Oh, there's the turtle head right here. So there's Arcanolon right there. But all the heads of the 13 Guardians are all on him as some sort of ornamental armor, which is nice. Just a neat little attention to detail that I'm pretty happy with. 15 is Allomeris. And then 16, Beyondsmo. 17, Overapu, the farter. 18, Igaranodon. I said that wrong. 19, Tuparanda. 20, Guromonite. 21, Arcanolon. 22, Pucuptor. That's the magic slot. Plug one in there, and that's what activates. You only have to have one to activate all the noises, and that's that slot right there. There's actually, if you look in here, there's actually a red ring around it, so you know which one activates the sounds. I don't know if you can see it in there. Yeah, there's a red ring around that particular slot. And then finally, 23, Futabayan. And they all store in there. Nice and neat and sturdy. So yeah, there you go. There he is, all loaded up with his Juden. And when he's all powered up, you can then turn him into Gigant Bragi-oh, and he'll do a little transformation noise. It's awesome. So take this, fold this up, and this, if you see this, this is now, here's the eye, here's the teeth, becomes now a giant Chompa, giant Gabarincho. Giga Gabarincho! And that's done. Does he make another noise after that? Giganto, Giganto, I wish I didn't blow out the speaker so much, because that's actually a fun little like type of music, a real triumphant music. That's supposed to go off when I should have pushed that after I turned him into the robot mode. I couldn't remember if he made a noise in this mode with the everything loaded up. So yeah. But there's that. We'll hear that again in a minute. And then to continue on the way to giant mode, you go ahead and pop the dinosaur head off here, just like this, and pop this place off. This piece is going to stay just like this. This axe you flip up. Yep, just like that. Pop it off the end there, and that plugs in right here to form his attack, his giant axe weapon. And then you can flip this out right here for him to hold on to it when he forms it. But we'll set that off to the side for right now. And then you take this body, and basically there's a couple tabs right here that are going to tab in. I think actually up here once you rotate him up. And basically you rotate him to stand up, yeah, just like this, and then lock those in like that. And so you can see his body, he's kind of got the the Allomeris head forms the Kyoryuger. Actually, that may even be Gabatira's head. He may have all of the Judenryu on him. I'll have to count. But, maybe not, that may just be Allomeris. But he's got the Kyoryuger dinosaur head symbol on his chest. And then you bring the arms down, rotate him up, and flip the feet up. And then the Bragio head, or BRAGIGAS head, you flip it up here, and there's a faceplate up there. You flip that down, and then snap it on here on top, and then plug this into his hand. They're very similar to the Dragonzord's, kind of just, he's got that weird kind of long handle that holds his weapon from the old series. And then, here's this again. There he is, and by himself, he's about the same size as Kyoryugen. He's actually a little bit more massive than Kyoryugen. I mean, he's very big, very impressive, very neat. I just as a single mech, I like him a lot, just by himself. He can, of course, finally let the main 5 Kyoryugen combine, or Judenryu combine. Normally, they're all they combine 2 at a time to Gabatira, and you can't get all 5 at once. And Bragio combines with them, so you have a giant 6 mech combination. I think we've had 4 if you count the Raiden Kyoryugen with Terra Gordon on the back. So yeah, he turns into a giant mech, and to do that, you have to kind of break him apart. First, you want to prep Kyoryugen, And what I do is, like, since he's going to be holding this here, I just take the Stegosaurus back and plug it back into his back there. Very simple. You want to go ahead and take the tail off, take his helmet off, and you just store it back in the tail, per usual, and then close the tail up. Just make it back into a tail. We're going to set that off to the side for right now. We're going to take his weapon, pull the axe off, and we're actually going to take this red piece off as well. And we'll set all that to the side. Kyoryuji is more or less prepped at this point. Now we just got to break down this big guy. So we take this piece off, flip that head up, set that off to the side. Pop off on the back, right here on the back, pop off this plate, pop off the head piece, and actually the red piece from the axe pegs right in here on there to form his head. We're going to set that off to the side. And then these pieces, the arms pop off. These pieces come off, just like this. And then the legs pop off as well. So you end up with just this, Gigant Bragi-oh. Alright, pop these off. So you end up with just this piece. And you want to take the axe and plug it back in, just like this, and flip it up. Now if you need to open this, whether in this mode or this mode, there's a lever right here, and this locks into place. So whenever you want to open it, you want to push this lever down, or when this is attached, there's a smaller level here, lever that attaches to the lower level to let that open. Yes, Gigant Bragi-oh. But you flip that up, and now you've got the core part right here. And then you take the arms, turn them back into legs, and face, so they face the front, like that. And then those are going to attach under here. Wait, this way. Yeah, just like this. Attached to these posts back here, right here on top, to form this giant standy thing. We're going to set that off to the side for a minute, because what we need to do first, actually, let's just set this back here. You take his big legs, and you flip this piece down, and flip that piece down, like that, and then flip this tab up. And then that's going to plug in underneath Kyoryuzin's foot. There we go, just like this. And do the same with the other leg. Support yourself. Oh, I got to flip this up. Yeah, come on. There we go. So let's flip that all together. Flip it up. This guy is so huge and a lot of fun. And once that's done, then you can take this whole piece, this giant piece right here. It uses these tabs, these 4 tabs, plugs into the 4 tabs on the back of Kyoryugen. Oh, also, you need this support piece for the waist. One came with Plezuon because of that giant combination, but BRAGIGAS includes one as well. So like you get one with Plezuon, one with BRAGIGAS. So if you have multiple sets, or if you want to combine like BRAGIGAS with him and Spino-Dio with Plezuon, you've got 2 of these, so you've got enough. Whoever you want to combine them, you're not missing one of these. And if you don't have Plezuon, you just have BRAGIGAS, you're still able to do it. That was nice of them. But then this plugs in right here, just like that, onto the back. And so now you've got this giant, just massive and heavy from the side, giant mech. But we're not done yet, because this faceplate, now you flip these little connector ports out, and it plugs in to the chest here. And it's got all 10, right here is all 10 of the main Zyudenryu, and then all 13 of the support Juden. So that's really kind of cool. And you take that, so you take this piece, take the head piece, and it just plugs in backwards up here behind, just like that, behind Kyoryugen's head. You can kind of see that. Let me tilt this up a little bit, because most of what we're going to be doing is up here now. Take this, the previous spear weapon, flip this handle out, flip this handle out, this one back in, this one out, and then you take Zakatore. I don't know why I made that sound Italian. Plug that in like that, and so now he's got a giant trident weapon, which you can now plug into his hand, like that. So he holds that, and then you take these 2 pieces right here, You see, this has the same type of sliding mechanism here that the tail does. And basically what you do is you slide this on right here, just where the tail would normally go. And then this piece right here, there's a couple ports under here that snap on to here. And then you take Parasagon, the gun. Oh, okay, let's pop him up, open into gun mode. And he becomes a shoulder-mounted cannon up here. Yeah, he's getting huge. Back up a little bit more. And then the headpiece snaps on over his head. And then, because I guess they felt that since in this configuration, like I think it looks fine like this. This is cool, Gigant Kyuryugen. But because they needed to do something with it, and maybe because Bakuretsu Kyoryugen is a little bit taller in this mode, you take the tail, and there's a slot up here on the head, and you slot the whole tail in like a hat. Like I mentioned on Twitter, like forget the power cores. This is the one true Dino Pope. Let's see if we can't get back up enough so you can actually see. There we go. Now on the show, it doesn't look too bad because with the suit, the actor suit, they can they don't have to make it this big. They can make it more like it kind of comes up, and it does add some mass to his head and make it pointier, but it's not this giant tail. And despite that, like in person, it doesn't look ridiculous. It doesn't look okay. It looks ridiculous, but it doesn't look as ridiculous as it looks sometimes in pictures. It actually it's there. And like I said, if you choose not to, it's basically just a way to store the tail. If you prefer it this way, and I think it looks fine like that, you can just take the tail and set it off to the side when you're in this combined mode. And that head right there just looks fine by itself. We're going to leave the tail on because that's the official way to do it, but you do have that option. Now in this mode, you push the same red button. It's back over this shoulder now, but you hold it down instead of having instead of just pushing it once for the Gigant Bragi-oh. You hold it down, it'll do the Gigant Kyuryugen. Gigant Kyuryugen. So yeah, there's his giant combined noise. And that's it. That's Gigant Kyoryugen. He's giant. He's massive. He weighs like 800 pounds. He can hold all the Zyudenchi. Well, I guess all the Zyudenchi for these 5 and all the extra ones. The four from the mechs that aren't here. Ankidan, Terragordon, Ankidan, Bunpaki, and Plezuan all store in their respective mechs. And as like I said, if you got him on display, like just to give you an idea of how much bigger he is than the normal Kyoryugen, since Spino-Dai was about the same height, just to give you an idea of the size comparison. And that's just height-wise, front to back. He's way more massive. So a very impressive combination. At first, I was really kind of sad that they didn't do a combination of all 10 mechs. Maybe they'll surprise us with something like that, but I doubt it. But when I see this, I'm like, okay, maybe that's just crazy talk on my part, because Plezuan and Terragordon are not small either, and I think if you added them and two more of these size guys into the mix, you'd have a pretty crazy mech. Like I just don't even see how you could get Plezuan and Terragordon on there and have anything resembling structural integrity. So yeah, like I said, I'd love to see a giant, all of them combined in mech, but I also kind of really would want to see a giant all combined mech, because I don't even know where you'd fit that. Like this is not even like I have to store them all separately, because Gigant Bragi-oh just by himself in robot mode is just about the limit of where my shelves where I'm displaying these can hold. But yeah, very big, very impressive, very cool. There's one last thing to show off here, and that is for some reason they say to take all this apart. You do need this, but they say to take him off of there for it. I'm not going to, just for the sake of being. But you take take this piece right here again, and you take for some reason you pull this off and attach the Bragio head back to it. And I don't know why this is part of the transformation, considering when it's all said and done you don't even see this part, but whatever. And you take this whole massive backpack off like this, And instead, you pull these off to the side and plug them in to these ports. Let me see, that's all right? Yeah, okay. Plug them into these ports so it stands like this. And then you take this, and it attaches these ports right here, plug in right here, just as like a third support leg. You turn it around, you open it up, and you've got a giant cannon. So yeah, then you have this giant weapon, this giant cannon weapon that fires the powers of all the Guardians, the Mega Cannon. And that was the noise of that. It automatically fires that when you open it up. And if you push the red button, it will cycle through the names of all 13 of these Judенchi, as well as the attack names. So we'll just... And there you go. There's Futabine, and it goes through all three of them. And if you hit it again, it'll just go right back to Dino Chaser. Dino Chaser. So yeah, so you've got the big, if you want to make it fire again, you can just bring this down. Gigant Bragi-oh, unlock it. And there's the giant cannon move. So there you go. There is BRAGIGAS slash Gigant Bragi-oh slash Gigant Kyuryuzin, the big final form, power of all 10, power of all 23 technically, Juden spirits. But yeah, there you go. There it is. Very nice, very cool, very big. I'm very, very happy with it. It's like having a third child, or a second child, I guess. It's big. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. Thank you, CS Toys. I know there was some hassle with the boxes, but I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got it from you guys. It's very, very cool. Definitely pick it up if you get the chance and you've been collecting these. It's a really nice combination.